I began my search for the hidden Jesus in Vrindavan, one of India's holiest cities, and the center of worship for the ancient Hindu god Krishna. It's the month of Kartik, one of the most auspicious times of the Hindu year, when millions of pilgrims come here to worship Krishna. In ancient Hinduism, Krishna is seen as the supreme god who descends to earth to fight evil. The stories concerning his life go back 800 years before the birth of Jesus. I am here to explore the similarities between Jesus Christ and Krishna, and in particular, their birth stories. Srivatsa Goswami is a Brahmin priest who can trace his lineage back to the founders of this holy city more than 600 years ago.
I tell you a story. The story of a wondrous birth, where the child is born in the humblest settings the Mother Earth can provide.
Every year, just like our nativity plays about the birth of Jesus, Hindus perform Ras Leelas, or religious passion plays about the birth of Krishna.
In the story, there is an evil king who tries to prevent the coming of the child.
In a prophecy, the evil king is told that a child will grow up to kill him. So he goes on a killing spree, murdering babies. It was beginning to sound familiar.
In the story, the stars portends the birth. The crucial hour is the middle of the night.
There is also an immaculate conception, and the birth is heralded by angels. While the evil king's guards sleep, the father is told to flee with his family. They have to cross a river, but the waters are miraculously parted.
You might wonder, whose birth story is this? This is the story of the child Krishna.
Not Jesus, Krishna.
But it could well be the story of Jesus. The tyrant could be Herod, and then the details go on, you know. And as Jesus is heralded by John the Baptist, so Krishna is heralded by his elder brother Balaram. In the same story, you know.
So I mean,
Same story.
I mean, this is absolutely amazing stuff, because most Christians, when they see the Nativity every Christmas, December, they think this is unique. When I was a child at Sunday school, I was taught very little about other religions. Instead, I was told repeatedly that the Christian story of Jesus was totally unique, and that there was only one way to salvation, through him. Anything else was entertaining evil. Who's in this shrine here?
It is also Lord Krishna when he become young.
So that's Radha. Krishna as a young person with his love.
Radha.
Oh, right. To celebrate Krishna's birthday, just like we do at Christmas, Hindus also build nativity cribs. When I see images of the baby Jesus, often at Christmas, both of the cultures have scenes or images of their deity as a baby. So in Christianity you have Jesus in the crib, and here you have Krishna in a swing with his mother pulling the swing. The more I looked at it, the more similarities I found between Krishna and Jesus. You have a flute? And the more I realized that Jesus' story may not be unique. Christians go on pilgrimages to places connected with the life story of Jesus. Hindus are encouraged to visit the holy sites connected with Lord Krishna and his many miracles. One of the holiest is Radhakund, where Hindus come to take ritual baths. I caught up with a group of Hare Krishna devotees, led by Dibandhu Das. There are lots of similarities between the life of Jesus and the life of Krishna. Did you think they were similar in other ways?
In part of India, the dialect, they say Krishna, Krista. Christa, and we know the Greek is Christos. So they're coming from the same root, actually.
So not only are the birth stories of Krishna and Jesus very similar, in at least one Indian dialect, it seems that even their names sound the same. I was taught that throughout the Gospels, Jesus told his disciples to forsake all and follow me. Now I find it's just the same with the followers of Krishna. They also believe that by chanting Krishna's name over and over again, they will get closer to him. When I recite Christianity's most famous prayer that Jesus taught his disciples, the Lord's Prayer, the very second line is, "Hallowed be thy name." It's almost exactly the same idea. We've already heard of the remarkable similarities between the life stories of Krishna and of Jesus. But here in India, there's another important religious figure, also the result of miraculous birth, who was tempted by the devil before beginning his public ministry at the age of 30, who performed miracles such as walking on water and the feeding of 500, and who challenged the established religious order and presented an alternative way of understanding the world, and who spread his teachings and wisdom through parables and sayings. Now, it all sounds extraordinarily familiar, but I'm not talking about Jesus, but of Prince Siddhartha Gautama, or Buddha. Prince Siddhartha Gautama was born, the only son of a local king. According to tradition, his mother Maya gave birth to him miraculously. Like Jesus, he was also predicted to become a great man from birth, and wise men traveled to see him. As Siddhartha neared his 30th birthday, he began to realize the world was full of pain and suffering. So he decided to leave home and take up the life of a wandering monk. For the next 6 years, he meditated on the sufferings of the world. Like Jesus, he was also tempted by a devil figure, but resisted. Finally, one day, while sitting under a tree, he found enlightenment and began his ministry to teach the world about Dharma, or the right way of living. Today, Buddhism has spread all over the world and has over 300 million followers. Buddha, as we know, was born miraculously, and we know that he, like Jesus, was tempted by the devil. We know that he performed miracles, and there are some miracles which are very similar to the miracles of Jesus, walking on water. We know that Jesus' life, he challenges the religious order, and so does Buddha.
Do to others as you would have them do to you.
Consider others as yourself.
If someone strikes you on the right cheek, offer him the other also.
If anyone should give you a blow with his hand, with a stick, or with a knife, you should abandon any desires and utter no evil words.
Love your enemies. Do good to those who hate you. Bless those who curse you. Pray for those who abuse you. From anyone who takes away your coat, do not withhold even your shirt.
Hatreds do not ever cease in this world by hating, but by love. This is an eternal truth. Overcome anger by love. Overcome evil by good. Overcome the miser by giving. Overcome the liar by truth.
There's so much similarity even in that aspect in Buddhism and Christianity, because I spent times in monasteries and they use incense and they use rosary, and also they use the folding the hand during the prayer. And also we have a double dorje the cross of the Vajra, and you have a cross. So these are a lot of similarities.
What could be the cause of these similarities? At the time that the Bible was being written, we know that trade routes existed between India and Palestine via the Silk Road in the north and the sea in the south. And there are even Western historical accounts of travellers, diplomats and monks journeying from India to the Middle East. According to Indian sources, the Emperor Ashoka, who ruled most of India 250 years before Jesus was born, sent Buddhist missionaries all over Asia, and some may even have made it to Greece and Egypt.